New share. So before I start the recording I just want to go ahead and add this right away to the presentation. I'm in the Berkshire County Eagle, Pittsfield, Massachusetts, Friday, June 17th, 1859. All right, 1859. This is old. It says here, Moors in South Carolina. Moors in South Carolina. It may not be generally known that some of the best families in South Carolina are Moors by descent. Yeah, Moors by descent. We're not talking about tans or blackwashing. We're talking about real history. Get out your feelings. Get ready. All right? Let go. We got to empty our cups. Remember who Harriet Tubman was raiding and where it happened. South Carolina, right? South Carolina plays a big role here with the Huguenots. So who was she really raiding? All right, here we go again. It may not be generally known that some of the best families in the South, in South Carolina, are Moors by descent. The blood of the African, Tosh the hijack, soon washes out, but that of the Indian and more, after half a score of generations, shows itself almost as strongly as ever. Who? The black European and the Indian. All right? The crisp curling black hair, dark sad eyes, long silken lashes, and swarthy complexion come up generation after generation. Many of the old Huguenot families, down to the present day, show strong traces of their Moorish descent. Okay? I'm not making this up. Many Huguenot families, again, they show traces of their Moorish descent. Make sure you like and share the video, all right, so everybody can get this information and we can kill all the biases, stereotypes, prejudices, and misinformation out there. When the Moors were driven out from Spain upon the conquest of Granada, thousands of them took refuge in the south of France, carrying with them the art of cultivating the vine and growing silk. After a lapse of years, they were again driven to seek new homes, and in large numbers emigrated to South Carolina. The Battle of Marengo. All right, so this is a whole other topic. All of a sudden, they start going into another topic. But wanted to read that to you. Shout out to the person that sent me this. I believe his name was Juano. Sorry if I'm not remembering. It's on Instagram. And I actually found a better version of this, right? Again, we're in the Vermont Patriot and State Gazette from 14th of May, 1859, same year. All right, so again, they're going over the same story. The only difference is it's a little longer. All right, so again, where were we? So a lot of the Huguenot families show traces of their Moorish descent. All right, so when the Moors were driven out from Spain upon the conquest of Granada, okay, Granada, we're going to see a lot of the so-called Huguenots were Moorish people that came out of Granada. Thousands of them took refuge in the south of France, all right, carrying with them all their art and culture and their skills in trade, like growing silk, the silk trade. Remembering their bitter persecutions in Spain, they could never become Catholics, though forced by the position to renounce Mohammedanism and become Christian, all right? Conversos, crypto Muslims, crypto Jews, we will see as well. They became eventually Protestants, so-called Protestants, right? Who's the Protestants? I know a lot of you subscribers always hear me like, how does he know all the Protestants are, well, when you start doing the research, you start seeing who these so-called Protestants are. And when the revocation of the Edict of Nantes took place, withdrawing toleration from the Protestant religion, they were again driven to seek new homes, and in large numbers emigrated to South Carolina. The Gauls of Caesar's day and our own is of a different type from the French Huguenots, whose descendants are among us distinct in physique and in moral and intellectual character. A fair complexion, Taj the hijack like light or reddish hair, and a disposition versatile, fickle, and not to be relied on. Inconstancy in his friendship and enmities have been characteristics of the Gaul. Okay, they were talking about the so-called Gaul there. That's what they were saying, describing in their time in 1850s, right? The Gauls. He is the very antipodes of the French Huguenot. So he's saying it's very different. These people who he was just describing are very different than the French Huguenots. And a dissimilarity so strong and marked can only be accounted for by tracking them up to the different stocks from which they sprung. Different stocks, ethnicity. It's not just about religion. There never was a nobler or more chivalrous race of men than the Moors of Granada, from whom our Huguenot population are derived. The Moors of Granada. Oh, we're just in newspapers right now. Don't worry. We're about to get to all the sources. Okay? This is just corroboration. This is just to get us ready for the information. And so anybody who's not comfortable with this can just go away right now. All right? Again, the chivalrous race of men that the Moors of Granada, from whom the Huguenot population are derived, with strong and active passions, controlled by a lofty sense of honor, and in it, love of justice, and tempered by a politeness and courtesy that is inborn in their race, firm and constant in friendship, and dignified even in the most bitter resentment. The descendants of the Moor claim our admiration in peace or war. Clarendon Banner. Wow.